This is a guide camera trigger. I made this move up and down and added a static camera trigger on the Y only setting and following the group ID of the camera trigger, because without that setup the illusion will break and it will look ass. You may seem to notice, Monica, that there is an options trigger, camera mode trigger, and a static trigger. The static trigger targets the guide camera trigger that moves up and down. The camera mode trigger sets the camera to free mode so the dumbass static trigger doesn't do dumbass static shit. The options trigger has the hide player 2 button on and disable player 2 button controls. And when you get to the part of the level where the player 2 is not visible anywhere, you can turn off the hide player 2 option. Oh, and by the way, there's 2 lines of default blocks under and above the main level, so the player can sit around and sleep while the other player that you're controlling is fighting for his life with this scuffed ass gameplay. Oh, what's that? When do I get to the part where I make the players switcheroo and stuff? You can see that after the magic fucker disappearance of player 2, it sits above the level waiting for it to it suddenly switched gravity, meaning it's gonna take player's 1 position. Put an option trigger somewhere where both players are in the air and set it to disable player 1 control and enable player 2 controls. And boom! Suddenly you switch places with player 1. And from there on out, you just use common sense like placing another option trigger and doing the opposite things the other option trigger was doing and figure out how the fuck are they gonna switch. Like how I use the gravity trigger to make it look like they got launched from the fucking moon. Hope that helps, Monica.